Hello, everyone. You're listening to Turning the Page podcast with Jer and Jel. We will be sharing stories from our life experiences in hopes of providing you with entertainment, encouragement, inspiration, and invoking thoughts on topics we all think about with transparency and rawness. So turn your volume up and let's get started.
1 month down in podcasting.
Yes. Well, 4 weeks. Yeah, I guess. Yeah, you're right.
Yep. We are officially a month in. So we've got 4 episodes.
Yes.
This is episode number 5. We're starting February, the month of love.
Yeah.
And we are all business today, no pun intended.
Whatever.
So today I want to talk about keeping it spicy. And I think we have different perspectives on this.
Possibly.
I think so. I think this might be a little bit of a... not a disagreement, but just different views on things. So
We shall see.
So I sent my beautiful wife today. She's been asking me for the last 2 days what our topic's going to be, and I didn't know. And we had mentioned this probably about 2 days ago, I think, when it first came up.
Something like that.
And we talked about keeping it spicy, and then we got into it. But when you think about keeping it spicy, sometimes you think about sex, just the same way when we talked about intimacy. A lot of times you go straight to sex, which keeping it spicy can be sexual. It could be kinky.
Don't do that to me.
But keeping it spicy, I started out by sending her a acronym.
Yes.
On spicy. And what that would mean, so I said spontaneous,
Okay.
passion, intimacy, communication,
And
my favorite word, yes. And what was your response to yes?
why yes?
Because yes is important. We're going to get there.
I don't get
But what are your thoughts?
On your spicy
Yeah.
acronym or on
Yeah.
or on keeping it spicy in general?
No, just my
'Cause
acronym.
I have 2 separate thoughts.
I'm not surprised.
Well, I mean, spicy acronym, I mean, that's new. That's a new one, right?
Yeah.
I had never heard that before. So, babe, good job for being
You're
creative.
welcome.
But, I mean, to me, keeping it spicy, yes, it can be keeping it spicy in the bedroom, but also just in your relationship in general, right?
Yes.
It's where keeping it spicy is where you are not stagnant. You're not in the routine. You know, it's exciting and fun and passionate.
I like
It's
that.
not dull and boring and mundane.
Were you reading my notes?
Shut up. You did not.
Ugh,
This is all coming from my
taking
brain,
over
baby.
my...
This is my brain, my
Wow.
mind.
So I agree. There can be spiciness in the bedroom, and there can be spiciness just in your relationship. I
Oh my gosh.
am so excited that we're newlyweds. We're like 3 months.
Babe,
no,
you do not know how to count.
November, December. No, we're 3
Listen,
months. We just finished 3 months.
Yeah, we're a little over 3 months now, babe.
Wow.
November, December, January. And we're already in February, so.
Happy anniversary 3 days ago.
Oh my gosh. That doesn't count.
So I think that exactly what you said is so many relationships get in a pattern where they lose the spiciness,
Right.
the fuego,
Oh.
the fire
Here we go.
in their love, in their passion and all that. And
Oh, definitely. Especially when they've been together for a long time.
3 years,
That's not long. Long.
5 years,
Think longer.
10 years,
Even longer.
15 years, 30 years.
Now we're getting there.
Okay.
I mean, yeah, 10 years is still a long time. So you can hit a rut even after 5-10 years. But,
Yeah.
how do you get out of it? What can you do to spice things
How
up?
do you prevent getting into that? Like, how, because I believe you can stay in a honeymoon phase for 5 years, 10 years, 20 years.
That's it? What about
30 years, 50 years, forever.
What about lifelong?
I think it's effort. It's what you put into it.
Yeah.
And I have a spice rack. I just came up with that right now. I didn't even have that in my notes.
Oh, you're gonna write down?
Yeah, I'm really gonna.
Oh my God!
Spice
and this
rack.
on this spice rack. How many spices are on there?
Oh, have you gone to a store that has a spice wall? I don't even have a rack. It's a wall.
You know how I cook. I love my spices.
When we have our next home, we're gonna have a spice wall. Like this shelf right here would be all spices everywhere.
Okay.
That's how much spice I got.
Oh, well. I can't wait to see all these different spices you're going to use.
Anyways, so let's get to this. I guess I'll give my view on it.
Yeah,
and then you want to give your view on it. So
let's hear it.
When you're keeping it spicy, spontaneous is important. I think when you get into when you lose romance, you lose spontaneity. When you lose that excitement, it's because you start getting into a comfort zone. I like being spontaneous. I like doing things when you don't expect it. I like catching you off guard. I like taking you places.
Yeah.
I was going to say I like taking you other places, but I won't go there.
Of course.
I think we can talk on that a lot, but I'm not going to go into it because I think it speaks for itself. But people need to have spontaneity in their relationship, and I think we do a good job at it. You do it with me. I do it with you. Everything's not planned all the time. Sometimes we're just like, hey, let's go do something. Let's go somewhere. Yeah. And we could change it up on like in seconds. For P, I put passion. Change the pattern. Allow tension sometimes. Allow that sexual tension to build up. Allow the pattern of your life to not be the same every day. Wake up at 6 o'clock. Should get in the shower at 6:30. I dry off at 6:55. I get my clothes on. I drive to work. I get to work. I call my wife. You know, some people have a pattern every day where everything's just the same. You get out of work, you come home, you do whatever thing you do, and that's it. And then when the opportunity for spontaneity comes up, babe, let's go for a drive. Let's go get an ice cream. Babe, let's go watch a movie. You've done that to me in the past. We're like sitting on the couch and you're like, let's go. We're gonna go watch a movie. What? Okay. And I love that. I love that not knowing of what's gonna happen. You know, I think that allows you to always be guessing what's gonna happen, and you know, I think that keeps passion. Passion doesn't always have to be passionate, like grab your hair. For intimacy, I put just connection. That was my only word that I put on that one. I think that connection is huge. Connection can be us touching, me holding your hand. Give me your hand. Like whenever we touch and we sit and we talk and we're at places, we do this thing. Sometimes when we can't talk to each other and say, I love you, what do?
I tap you 3 times.
She'll squeeze my hand 3 times, or she'll bump my leg, or
squeeze your knee.
Yeah. And you do that quite often. And we do it back and forth. But little things like that, I think that's keeping intimacy. Even though it's not a spoken thing, when we're somewhere and just all of a sudden I feel those 3 bumps, little squeezes, 1, 2, 3, I'm like, yeah, she does love me. And we don't forget that, you know?
No, yeah.
Communication is for C.
Okay.
Check in.
That's
Communication.
Important. Yeah.
Check in was episode 1? 2?
No, I think it was 2.
2?
Yeah. Talk to me like
so we did talk. Yeah. Oh, yes, it was. Look, I even put the notes. Talk to me like you love me. Episode 2. But, you know, checking in is something that my wife has brought to the table and brought to me, and I've never had that before, and I've told her that. And it's important. I love when you do it. In the beginning, it was a little bit uncomfortable, but because I'm not used to it. It wasn't something that I was used to, but I like the fact that you care about my spirit, you care about my mind, you care about a lot of stuff of me. Yes is what she kind of said. What does yes have to do with keeping it spicy? I think one of the major things in relationships that kills passion, it kills intimacy, it kills spontaneity, it kills communication, it kills all these things that maybe there's certain things I desire, and there's certain things I like to do, and I like to kind of test you with, but you never tell me no.
Don't lie.
You've never.
I've never told you no once.
Told me no, like when I say I want to do something, or let's try something new. I have not heard no. Like I don't have that feeling of being like, oh, well, I guess I won't ask that again.
Dang, I'm a yes girl?
You are pretty. Supposedly I'm a yes man, but I think yes is important. I think it's very important, because when you don't put barriers, or you don't put... I think yes is important. I mean, there's certain things I know what not to ask you and expect yes, because I know your boundaries. I know... I'm learning them. I don't know them completely,
you don't know them all.
there's some areas that we've endowed in, but there's never been anything where you're like, no, I'm never gonna do that. I won't do this. I won't do that. And like, you've been open to things, and we've tried things. We've gone to places without you knowing that we're gonna go there, and you didn't say no. I'm not gonna go until you bucked and kicked for a while, but.
Well, I don't like surprises.
Yeah, but you were sure happy when we got there.
I like to be in control a lot, and I've learned to let go of that, and so I am less in control now. But I still like to know where we're going, what the plan is, But It was fun. It was fun not knowing, and me trying to guess the whole way there.
Yeah, it was good. I liked it. One of the other things that I put down is do things your partner enjoys. Some of the things that we're going to do is not always stuff that I want to do. But if you don't try it and you don't step out in that place to put yourself in a place of uncomfort, what do you always tell me? If you're not uncomfortable, you're not growing. Right?
Yeah. Growth starts at the end of your comfort zone. That's what I say.
Well, that's how you say it. In my mind, it was the other way. But I think it's important. So many times we can get in this place of everything is no. Everything is, I'm not going to do that. I'm not going to try that. I'm not going to go there. Whether it's in your sex life, whether it's in your just love life of living life together.
Okay, now I'm just racking my brain. Like, how have I never told you no? I'm over here trying to think. I know I've said no.
Tell me a time you told me no.
I know I've said no before. I need to think. I'm thinking.
When?
I'm thinking. Let me think.
Yeah. We've got about 45 minutes for her to think. Let's see what happens. So do things that your partner enjoys. There's not always going to be something that you want to do, but man, sometimes there's things that you bring that I've never experienced it, or I'm like, wow, this was fun. This is good. This is exciting. So I like it.
Can you give an example?
So on my birthday last year in May, you were surprising me, and I was uncomfortable about that because I didn't know where we were going. You kind of told me where we were driving, but she didn't tell me what we were doing. She told me we were going on a picnic.
That was 2 years ago. Not this last birthday, because remember the last birthday we went to Riverbend. So the year before that, when we were like...
Oh, that was from... Yeah.
We were barely starting to date.
Yeah. We had just gotten together. She was having me drive out into the boonies, into the desert, literally sand dunes all around me. I thought I was going to be left out there. No,
whatever. I was like, I need to borrow your Jeep. We're going in your car.
But I didn't know what we were doing, and I could easily said, babe, I don't want, let's go to a restaurant. Let's go do this. Let's go do that.
Yeah, you
But
probably wouldn't have. If I would have told you, you probably wouldn't have gone.
Yeah. And it was amazing. Like, I had never gone out into an open place, had a picnic. We had a little basket that had some cheese, and we had some grapes, and we had some little snacks. We had you had a little tiny bottle of wine.
Chicken salad sandwiches.
And it was awesome. I still remember.
On the top of a sand dune, so you got to work out.
She was wearing this red summer dress, kind of right at the middle of her thighs, and she was looking good. She had her fedora on.
So I kept it spicy?
You kept it spicy.
From the beginning?
You kept it spicy. Even though I couldn't enjoy the spiciness of that then.
Again, keeping it spicy is not always sexual.
True. It's not. No.
Time spent together, trying new things.
Yep. It is. Well, and I'll stop there for now just because you have a million paragraphs?
I
do. I wrote a bunch of stuff down. I was really thinking about this today.
You're really passionate about keeping it spicy.
I think it is important. And we do such a good job at doing that.
Okay. I agree with you. But, I mean, we're 3 months in. We'll see 10 years from now.
Yeah.
If you're going to still use all your spices.
I have a whole wall spice.
Well, I mean, you're not far off. I kind of feel the same way, right? I do think that keeping it spicy is not just in the bedroom. It's also your day-to-day. So I did write some notes, okay? How to keep it spicy, keep it picante, caliente, nice and hot and spicy.
She's speaking Spanish.
So one of the things that I put is, of course, I did spontaneous as well. Do spontaneous things with each other. It doesn't always have to be planned. So we were on the right, mindset there. And other things you can do to spice up your relationship besides spontaneous moments is maybe write little love notes to each other. And if you're packing their lunch, put a little love note in their lunch. Maybe put a love note on their windshield, or, write something on the mirror in the bathroom. Like, one of you might leave before the other. Mm-hmm. So whenever that person leaves, write that love note when they get home, because if they get home before you, they'll see it, and text them throughout the day. It can be some spicy, racy texts, or just, hey, thinking of you. I really liked the way you dressed today. You smelled so good this morning. I don't know. It could be anything. It doesn't have to be sexual, like I said. Of course, those are nice too, but doing things that are out of your norm, right? So keeping it spicy to me is having those moments where they're unplanned moments, unplanned texts. It's not the same, hey, going home for lunch, hey, leaving work, hey. It's addressing your partner in a loving way through a text. Like, you could say something like, hey, hurry home. I really want you. Yeah. And I'm using that because
that's sexual.
Because that was something recent that you did to keep it spicy. And so stuff like that, I'm like, okay. That stuff to me is keeping it spicy.
And you didn't say no.
I didn't. Well, I'm not gonna. I mean, if I had to, like, oh no, I'm stuck at work, I have a meeting, of course I'm gonna say no, because I have responsibilities, right?
Yeah.
But if I can, I'm not gonna say no. No. Maybe trying a new activity together. I also have that down. Is trying something together, like dance lessons. Maybe you want to learn salsa together, or country dance, or maybe you want to take golf lessons together. Try a new sport together. Find a place that teaches you how to cook or how to make sushi. Try a new activity together, and that will help spice things up in the relationship and help it to not be so routine and boring, right?
Yeah.
So new activities, for sure.
Break out of the norm. Break out of these cages that we put ourselves in.
Change the scenery. Like when you took me to Pagosa, the surprise trip, I didn't know where we were going. You're like, I need you to take this day off. I'm like, okay. And then that's a change of scenery. It was awesome. We had a great time,
Yeah, we did. That was amazing.
I mean, you don't always have to, go out of town. You can keep it simple. Explore your house, What does that mean? Let me tell you. So, most couples have sex in the bedroom, and that's pretty much it. It's like, okay, let's go have sex. We go to the bedroom. Well, guess what? You have a million other places in the house that you could be doing that together. Explore the house. Try a different room. Try a chair. Try the sofa.
But that's not normal. That's not conventional.
Well, if you want to spice things up,
What
why
if that's
be
not
conventional?
sanitary?
Oh, come on. Really? Really?
You don't think someone out there doesn't think that? Oh, in the kitchen? I can't do that in the kitchen.
Why not?
We cook
Why
in
not?
the kitchen.
Do you have cleaning supplies? Done. Solved.
I don't need cleaning supplies.
I'm just saying, explore your
I'm
house.
dirty.
You can stop it. You can change the scenery and try new activities outside of the home, but you can also change the scenery in your home too.
Yeah.
I'm just saying.
Absolutely.
So those are some things you can do to keep it spicy, and and more on the sexual side is foreplay. It's so important, right? A lot of people just forget the foreplay. And foreplay is not just, when you're right before you have sex. No, foreplay starts from the beginning of your day. Before you even wake up, turn over, hug each other. Before you get out of bed, cuddle, kiss. Then you go your separate ways to work, text throughout the day. Foreplay starts through texting.
Yep.
Like I said earlier, send those compliments through text. Send, hey, thinking of you.
Yeah.
I really like you in those jeans, baby. Whatever you want to say, okay? I don't know how you
Those black sparkly leggings you're wearing
Stop
today,
it.
girl.
Anyways, so, foreplay starts with verbal communication.
I love that you bring that up because that's something that you initiate a lot of the times. Like, as soon as we wake up in the morning, like you're ready to connect. You wake up and you're like, hold me. I want you to cuddle with me. Our alarm goes off and it could be 6:35 in the morning. My alarm goes off 6:35. I'm getting ready to get in the shower. Like, she's like, nope, no, you're not getting out of bed. Come here. Come here.
That.
And that makes me feel like, wow, like she really enjoys my presence. She
And
enjoys,
I really do. And there's a couple times where you are in a rush and you're in a hurry and you just get up, shower, get ready, and I'm like, and I will even tell you,
didn't hold
me this morning.
Kiss me.
You didn't. Yeah, I do. I tell you, I call you out. That's true.
And you know what? If that's something that keeps a fire in you, you need to make that known. Like, people need to let people know that, hey, I desire this. I want this. Because that's something that's very important to you. Sometimes I don't think about it. I've gotten up in the morning. One day, I woke up and we're new at this. We're just living together and we're sleeping in the same bed. She must have went to bed a little bit late because usually as soon as I wake up, she's like, what are you doing? Where are you going? What time is it? She was out. Like, I made it all the way into the shower, took a shower, got out, got dried, got dressed, and when I walked in, I must have made some noise or something, or I woke you up. I don't know. Let me tell you, that was the wrong thing to do. Because I heard it.
Yep.
You didn't wake me up. You got out of bed. I don't think I left the house. I think you were still.
It was on a weekend?
Yeah. It was a weekday.
Oh, weekday.
But you didn't have anything set till later in the day. Huh. And you were like out. Like, I got out of bed. Usually you wake up right away.
Especially if you got ready and showered and all that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I must have been really out because I'm a light sleeper.
Yep. And I didn't leave, but I think I got to the point to where I was already dressed and ready to go. And if she would have stayed asleep, I would have probably left and just let her rest. Thank God I didn't. But those little things are important. Like, I see them. And now when I woke up this morning, the first thing I did was turn over and got close to you and snuggled against your body and felt that body heat.
Well, I think it's important to communicate what you do love, what you don't love with your partner, because how are they supposed to know? They're not mind readers, right?
Yeah.
You know, we've talked about in previous podcasts that communication is key. Like communication is the foundation of everything you do in your relationship. So, yeah, communicate what you like.
Yeah.
You know?
Communication's important. It's C in spicy.
That's right. Oh, goodness. I'm never going to hear the end of this acronym.
Oh, my gosh.
Yeah, I don't have a fancy acronym like you do. Sorry, but...
You know something that I wrote down is make sex a to-do. Don't let it just be, oh, we'll schedule that for Wednesday. That does not keep spiciness in the bedroom.
So don't schedule your sex, is what you're saying.
I don't think it should be scheduled. I'm just
trying to clarify, because you said make it a to-do, and for me, a to-do is I'm making a to-do list.
No,
and
not
that's
like
scheduling.
a to-do list. Like, okay, make sure you do it. Like, I'll initiate it.
Gotcha.
And you initiate it. Like,
gotcha.
there's times she throws me off because it's like, what? I'll be already laying down, getting ready for bed, and she's like, babe, we're not going to bed.
Stop.
But yeah, you'll initiate things at times and throw me off. You've sent me the text messages saying, babe, I want you to come home right now. I'm like, what, is it lunchtime? Are we having lunch?
Well, you know, and a lot of couples think, oh, the man should always initiate, and no, it should be both. It really should. Yeah. A man wants to be chased just as much as a woman wants to be chased. We want to feel desired.
We want to feel wanted. We want to feel like,
yes,
she just wants to rip my clothes off right now.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then you do it. Oh, so it
should go both. It should go both ways, basically. You know?
Yes,
and
definitely.
And other things other than foreplay and, you know, it starting outside of the bedroom is try new positions. Don't be scared to explore, you know. You guys you're married, you explore each other's bodies, see what you like, see what you don't like. Also creates intimacy. You're trying new things together.
Yeah. Well, it keeps things unknown. I mean, in a sense, if you're doing the same thing all the time, I mean, we haven't had the opportunity to do the same thing all the time, but you know, we've got some spontaneity and some spiciness going on. But you know, I think when you get in that place where you do just start to do the same thing, it's Tuesday, we're probably gonna have sex on Tuesday night. There comes Wednesday, we go to church. Thursday comes, we got sports, we got something with one of the kids. Friday, it's Friday, let's go out to dinner. Maybe we'll have sex tonight. And Saturday, Saturday's a busy day. Sunday, we're going back to church again. You got to do laundry. We're doing this, we're doing that. Yeah. You know, when you get home, there's no kids in the house and your wife's making lunch, dinner, whatever it is. Yeah. And she's looking good in those jeans.
Oh my gosh. Yeah.
Take them off.
Maybe not while you're cooking.
Well, too late for that. One of the things that I had also put, you know, after I said make sex a to-do is get rid of your ego. Get rid of ego. I think that destroys the spiciness in your relationship. When you have an ego about everything, I'm not going to do that. I won't do that. I won't try that. I won't go there. I won't, you know. Then you're missing out. One of the things I haven't been able to do yet is take her out to him. Let's go out for a hike. Let's go see a hot spring. We go on a 2-mile hike and find a hot spring out there and just enjoy each other. Enjoy nature. Enjoy what God's provided for us. That's something we're going to do, spontaneous one of these days.
Okay, then. Can't wait.
there's a lot of stuff that you can do. And instead of just having an ego like, I'm not going to do that. There's people out there. There's this. You can be discreet in certain areas and I don't know. I think a lot of times, especially as believers and Christians in the church, we're not given direction in a lot of this.
That's true.
And churches aren't going to sit there and speak about, man, when you're married, love your wife. Take advantage of those times that you have to, love on your wife and get her naked and do all these things and take her out somewhere. And, I don't know. It's just from my view of what we're taught in church, it's like, sex is bad, sex is bad, sex is bad. Don't do it. You're not married. And then you get married and there's like nothing about it. Like everyone's just quiet about it.
They're so lost.
Yeah. And sex is like, whoo, it's fun. It's like
when you're married, it is so much fun. I mean,
it's like going to Disneyland. You're getting on all the rides. There's no lines to wait.
Oh my. So I will tell you, like, of course, I have not been perfect my whole life. I've never been perfect, actually, ever.
What?
And I know, right? It's astonishing. Anyways, but I have had sex outside of marriage, and I've had sex while being married, and I have always enjoyed sex more when I've been married.
It is. It's
always. There's just something sacred and more intimate about married sex. There just is. And it's sad that the church today doesn't speak on married sex. They don't, like, what can you do? What can you not do? There's a lot of questions that I'm sure many Christian couples have.
We've had those questions.
We've had those conversations.
We've had those searches on Google. We've had those searches on YouTube. Well, what do people say about this? What do people say about oral? What do people say about sex outside of the bedroom? What do people say about being spontaneous out in nature?
I mean, God created sex for a man and a woman who are married to enjoy each other. Yeah. Yes, to procreate as well, but also for enjoyment.
Absolutely.
For that intimacy between a husband and a wife. So, I mean, it's not just to make babies, y'all. It's not.
No.
Have fun. Enjoy it.
It is like an extra curricular activity that I want to go to that class often. There's so much involved in that. And I know we're not getting in depth into it because when we do bring the sex talk, we want to have a little bit more depth. And we've been doing a little bit of research and we've been talking about some things, and we're still exploring and we're still doing figuring things out.
There's a whole other episode.
We're practicing so we can get some content to talk about.
Stop.
But, there's so much that you can give to someone and so much that you can offer to someone when you allow passion and spiciness to stay in your relationship. And your love life is so important because for me as a man, I mean, that lights every flame in my body, just knowing that you want me. And when you do and you initiate things and you're like, babe, like, you just need to lay back and let me enjoy, And there's times
I don't talk like that.
Lay back and enjoy the ride.
I don't talk like that. but I get what you're saying.
But you're like, you're not going to sleep.
In your mind, I'm telling you that. Yeah. That's how you're perceiving it.
I guess that's the case. I guess. But if you plan on keeping the fire in your life, you have to have that desire. Keep that desire, because, I mean, if you're in that place of our sex life sucks, it should never suck. The only thing that should be sucking is
babe. Oh my Lanta.
Are these lips on your earlobes?
My husband, ladies and gents, my husband.
I will say what I want to say, but not today, okay? But I think, if you don't have that affection, make it a habit to have that affection. Touch hands, hold hands, hug, have that eye contact. When I look at this beautiful woman's eyes, my queen right here, oh my gosh, these eyes are amazing. At work, I have her on my computer, and I'll share the photo I have as my screensaver on this episode, just so you guys can see. And every day after our meetings, everyone walks past my computer, and everyone says, oh, there's Jeremy looking at old blue eyes. He ain't getting no work done today. Yep.
That's hilarious.
And I do. I have her as my main focal point and my motivation for the day, because when I'm having a rough day and I feel like giving up, or I'm pissed off about something that happens at work, which happens every once in a while, I look at that and I look at this view, and I have more that I have writing than just me going to work and leaving. I have a family. I have someone that I'm providing. I have someone that I'm protecting. I have someone that I have to keep that love and passion going, you know? But I think that's important. Be affectionate. Give each other hugs. Have eye contact. Admire your woman. Admire what she has to offer. But be tender with each other. Touch each other. Have that affection. And, you know, say yes. Before we came in here in the kitchen, she fondled me. And I did not say no. Sometimes she'll be in there. I'll walk behind her and I'm like, girl, I'm checking for weapons and all this stuff. And she always comes out clean. She never has a knife, gun, none of that stuff. So, you know, touch each other. Touch each other. I love when she touched me. Like, out of nowhere, she'll just come around and she touch my head. She'll touch my hand. She puts her hand on my thigh. She squeezes me. She does other things that she did earlier, and it's amazing.
I don't know how you get me to laugh, cry like almost every episode.
And then the other thing is be open. Share your needs. Share what you like. You know, there's so much that we have involved in our lives that we get turned off to things and say no. Or we don't express what we like the way you express that you want me to hold you in the morning. You want a kiss. You want, you know, sometimes I'll kiss her 3 times. She's half asleep. She don't remember. And she's like, did you kiss me? Did you kiss me?
I do that. I forget because I'm
like, yes, babe, I kissed you twice. Well, I want another one. Bad breath and all. Hey, girl.
Those are the mornings where I'm like so out of it because it was a late night or I'm just so tired that I don't remember.
Yeah.
So I double check.
Yeah. And I will never deny that. I love it. Pay attention to one another. Guys, this is such a big thing. So we've haven't gotten in the bad habits of doing this, but I noticed that we are starting to do it a little bit more.
Oh, and
I haven't brought it up yet. You haven't brought it up yet.
What are you talking
because
about?
It hasn't gotten to a point of like where this is like, oh, like I'm right here. Like I'm here. Pay attention to me.
Okay.
You know, sometimes she'll do that. Why are you on your phone? What are you doing? Why are you on the computer? Why are you not paying attention to me? Sometimes you guys can be together and not be together.
Yes.
And maybe we're having a conversation and you've got something to tell me and I'm over here. Okay. Yeah. And what happened, babe? How was it?
Mindlessly paying attention.
Oh, huh?
Mindlessly paying attention like you're doing right now.
Oh, that's funny. That's funny. You know, what'd you say though?
And then I'll be like, did you hear what I said? And then you're like, yes, babe. But you really didn't.
I get in that. So what I've been doing now is when I get home, if I don't have anything that I have to do, if I'm not working on this podcast, if I'm not working at stuff from work that needs to be done, or if it's not something that I have to do just because whatever, I usually put this up on the counter and I'll leave it. That way my attention is on you. You are busy a lot of times editing photos. Recently, you've been planning events.
Prepping
Woman
for
has
interviews.
like 50 things happening that's on her plate over the week, but you're still present. Like you'll put that stuff aside and you give me your attention.
Yeah, or sometimes I'm like, okay, I just need 15 minutes to get through these emails, to submit what I need to submit, and then I'm all yours. And I tell you.
Yep.
And then I'll like, don't go to sleep until I'm done because we got to talk. I like our pillow talk. Pillow talk, for me, pillow talk is so important, okay?
Her pillow talk happens at, I like going to bed by 9:45, 10 o'clock. Her pillow talk starts at 10:30, 10:45.
No, hold up. Let me correct
you know what
it.
time I went to bed 2 nights ago?
Yes, but hold on. You don't like going to bed at 9:45. You like to be asleep by 9:45.
True.
There's a big difference.
Well, that's going to bed for me.
No.
I like us being in bed by 9 o'clock. That way for an hour and a half, we can talk, we can do this.
I like 9:30.
Her day does not stop till 9:45, 10 o'clock most of the time. Usually I'm the one I'm sitting on the couch and I'm like, I cannot do this no more. I'm getting up. I'm going to bed. I'll give her a kiss. I say, I love you. I'll see you in a little bit. And then I go lay down. Usually she comes in within 15, 20 minutes.
No, but I will tell you this is typically, and I feel like this is very, very important, is go to bed at the same time your spouse goes to bed. Don't go to bed 2 hours after your spouse, or, sometimes I'm finishing up some photos and you can't wait for me. So I'm like, okay, I'll be there in 10 minutes. And yeah, that's not a big deal. And that's only so often, right? It's not that often. But typically we go to bed at the same time, even if he's asleep and I'm not, we're still in bed at the same time together. I might be on my phone researching something, looking at houses or jobs or like other things that I always look at, right? Yeah. Or researching podcast stuff. So, and then you'll be asleep. But for the most part, we do have our pillow talk where we either talk about our day or talk about our next episode. We plan certain topics we're going to talk about. We share ideas. We share goals. We share dreams. Yep. I don't know why, but I get really chatty and talkative like right before bed. So I don't know if it's just me or if it's all women, but if it's you two, drop a comment. I'd love to hear that I'm not the only one. So anyway, that pillow talk is important.
Yeah.
It's closing our day, and then we finally get tired, like, okay, good night, and you kiss and whatever. And sometimes it's not talking, but it's other stuff. So, it just has to have that time together before bed. It's so important. I think that adds spice to a relationship is going to bed together.
So you make that mention of going to bed together. Why do you think that's important?
Why do you always put me on the spot?
Because I think there's something that I'm thinking of, and I know for myself why it's important to me.
Oh, yeah?
Mm-hmm. Because I think, okay, you're trying to do everything right in life. And usually when you're trying to do well and you're doing good and your marriage is going good and your spiritual walk is going good and all these things are lining up, there's always something that tries to come in, try to break that up, try to distract you. That's not the area that happens, but I think that can be an area if allowed to happen. Because
you think it would happen
from my experience,
when you're alone in the bed?
Yes. Yes. So I don't always get on my phone at night when I do go to bed. Usually when I go to bed, I plug it in and I put it aside. We don't have a television in our bedroom. There's a reason for that.
I don't believe in TVs in the bedroom.
No.
You can watch TV in the living room. The bedroom is not for watching TV and hanging out. It is for
sleeping.
No, it is for sleeping, yes. But it's also for being
messing up
intimate.
The sheets.
Yeah, being intimate with your partner and
right
talking, having conversations. Yep. Have that dialogue with one another. It's so
close
fun.
Everything off and just enjoy that moment.
Enjoy each other. Pay attention to each other. Yes. So, yes, I do not believe in TV in the bedroom, which is why I don't have one.
So, the reason why I asked that is because maybe I go lay down, I grab my phone, I start scrolling. I'm going through TikTok or I'm going through Instagram. So, in the past, I've struggled with pornography. Mm-hmm. And that is something that desire may still come around at times. But I know that pornography is destructive. It's destructive to me. It's destructive to our marriage. Mm-hmm. But where my mind went was, I think it's important that when we do go to bed, that, yeah, we do go to bed together. Why? Not that I have an issue with that now, but I just think of it as the enemy can try to put a wedge.
Yeah.
Maybe you're scrolling on YouTube or you're scrolling on Instagram, and a photo comes up of a girl or a photo comes up of someone that's looking hot, and you click on that, and it takes you down to another thing. Oh, no. I know where she's going with this. But, you know, in that, I know that because that's happened to me before.
Yeah.
When I was living alone, when I was at my home, I would go and lay down in bed, and either I'd watch TV or I'd scroll on my phone. And I'd be scrolling on my phone, and then something would come up. And, of course, me not having anywhere for that desire to go, where my desire was like, oh, yeah, wow, that was good. You know, that's awesome. That girl's looking good.
Well, I got a place for your desire.
Yes. And, you know, and that is key.
Well,
because
that makes sense.
The other thing, like, when I go somewhere, I've never been away from you more than a couple nights, like 3 nights. When you've gone on, you've gone on a girl's trip, or you've gone with your sister. But you know what she did before she left? Like, she took care of me and all my desires before. And it's funny. It's something to laugh at, but it's so important.
It's not funny.
It is because a lot of people are like, but it's important.
This is my nervous
Imagine
laugh.
how many couples, a wife goes on a trip or a man goes on a trip. Maybe they didn't have sex for 3-4 nights before that trip. Oh, she had to pack the night of, or the night before we had church and we had our kids at the house and whatever it is. But I've noticed that as soon as she's planning on going, like literally, I kind of want to send her on trips more often.
Stop.
When she goes out, maybe, you know, she's going on a sister trip or friend's trip. I don't know if you do that purposefully. I've never asked you. But I'm asking you today, I guess. But that's something that I was like, wow, like what? But she takes care of my needs, like my desires. So when she leaves, I'm like, you gotta... no one is going to ever top that, and I am not even trying to. And then when she gets back,
again,
boom. Like, baby, I missed you so much. She's got hands on, and you know we're connecting again. Yes. And I think that is super important, because in my mind that takes out desire of every lustful thing that would try to come in. I'm like, no. Yeah, oh no.
It is but yeah, it is on purpose. Okay. Of course.
Okay. Well, I've never asked. We've never had this discussion, but one time I meant to ask you. And I didn't.
Interesting. I didn't even know you noticed. I mean, I think it's very important to not leave your man starving for affection, starving for that intimacy, because they will find it somewhere else. It happens. So yeah, I think it's important to make sure that you meet their needs and they also meet your needs. Yeah. 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 I didn't know you were going to share all that.
Well, I didn't have it in my notes. I didn't have it written down here, but you know, now that we're talking about it though, but that's important. I really think, you know, if you're going to keep passion in your marriage and you're going to keep, and a lot of times people are married for 10 years, 20 years, 30 years, 40 years. We're newly married, so we're fresh in this. We are burning with desire. You know, we're in this passion. And I don't expect it to go anywhere, because I think we have a grasp and we keep reminding each other that, hey, this is important.
Yeah.
You know?
One thing that just came to mind is keeping it spicy, is having that time apart. You actually allow me to have those trips, those sister trips, those friend trips, or, you know, I could take a trip by myself for a couple nights. Like, it's never been longer than 3 nights, right? Yeah. And you're okay with that. Like, we can have time apart. Yeah. And that's one of the things that keeps your relationship spicy, in my opinion, also, is having time apart. Having time with your friends, having time with your family, have time alone, have your me time, because it is going to make your relationship spicy. You're going to have a chance to miss each other.
It builds that tension that we talked about earlier.
Exactly. So yeah, that is important. And if you're not already spending that time away from your spouse, then I mean, later down the road that could affect you later, is because you're gonna get sick of each other. hopefully not, but you could get sick of each other.
You can
get
if you
frustrated.
neglect these areas.
Yeah, like I value my alone time. I really, really do. And it doesn't have to be a whole weekend. It could be 2 hours at the nail salon. It could be me taking a run for 3 miles, or something that is for me.
Yeah. There's times that
Coffee
you've
shop.
gone out with your girlfriends and you guys go to dinner, you guys go to karaoke, and then you come back home.
Yeah.
And those are great times. Like, really is. Like, there's times I think.
And you know what?
When
I'm
you
doing
start
those
getting
things,
stressed, like, I should get to the point to where, like, I'm calling up one of the girls saying, hey, can you come get my wife and take her out? Because some of those nights that you come back, you're feeling better. You're in a better mood.
I am. And it gives me a chance to miss you. And I do think about you when I'm out sometimes too. I'm like, I wonder what he's doing right now. Then I check your location. I'm like, oh, he's at home.
Yep. Once in a while, I'll call someone and be like, hey, Andre, let's go for a ride. Let's go.
What I
let's
like
go
is that when I have those time with my girls and I go out, I really like that. You don't always just stay at home. You make plans with your friends, or you go with your cousin to go eat dinner. Yeah. You're not just, oh, what do I do?
It's important.
So
it is
I really
important
like that.
to have...
I like that you have people you can call and be like, hey, I got free time. You want to do something? Yeah. And then we come back and we love on each other and we're good.
Oh, yeah.
Anyways, so we've shared a lot about how to keep it spicy, not just in the bedroom, but also outside of the bedroom, right? Yeah. And so next week, so this will air, of course, on Tuesday, right? The 7th, but then the 14th, we have a Valentine's special. So we'll dive into V-Day. And we have some stuff to share about that later.
Yes.
So stay tuned.
We've got some
Yes.
Interesting topics.
Yes, we do. So subscribe to our YouTube channel, to Spotify, to iHeartRadio, to whatever platform you choose, our Facebook page, our TikTok page, and our Instagram page.
Awesome. See you next time.
This is Turning the Page with
Jer